Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are working on my latest project on account of all the snow we've been getting, and that is a tractor tire snow pusher. And we are building it for the Owatonna 310 skid steer. And the way that's going to work is I've got a, I don't know what size tire this is. This is the other half. Pretty good sized tire. And I cut it in half with a Sawzall. And all I used, here let me show you the blade. I just used a really aggressive pruning blade for cutting branches and things off trees. Works wonderful. And then I used a bimetal blade for the steel belted part. Sorry, right there. And the way this is going to work is this is the top part of the pusher where I've left the sidewall. And here you can see the sidewall. And on the other side, I've cutting it out. The way I'm going to do it is this is going to be the bottom piece. I've drilled 2 1/2-inch holes in it, this piece of angle. I'm going to set it here, when I measure it out, and I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom for the pin on the quick attach for the skid steer. And then on the top, I made another quick attach. If you want to see how I make these for my skid steer, check out my pallet fork build videos. I believe it's the second one or maybe the third one, I don't know. Check those out. I'll show you how I built these and how that works for the single pin style skid steer. So what I've done is on the tread here, I've notched these 2 spots here out, and this will sit down in there, and there's 2 holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it to through the tire. I think I need about a 5-inch bolt through the tire. And then I'm going to put another piece of angle on the other side as a big washer. I'm bolt it together nice and tight, and depending on right here where this meets, if there's any gap between that angle and the tire, I'm going to cut up part of that sidewall and make like a rubber bushing. And I might need to do more of a frame later, but I want to try this out and see what happens. I want it to flex a little bit, so when I'm pushing snow, it'll flex, and it won't. If you hit something, it won't hurt you so much. There's not much suspension in this old girl. So I'll go get the bolts. We'll line something up, start drilling, and I'll show you how I do it. I've got it mocked up. My nice piece of flat 1/4-inch plate, my quick attach that I built. I've got some pieces of rubber on each one of the connection points, and that's the sidewall on the other side. I cut the bottom of the sidewall out. And all I did was I drilled a hole through each one, and then down in through the tire. And those are spacers too, obviously, because the tire is round. So it seems to work pretty good. The bottom part, I drilled my hole for the quick attach pin. I got 2 bolts and 1 piece of angle with 1 piece of rubber in the bottom as well. It's not super tight yet. I haven't tested it, but we're going to do that here today. On the inside, you can see here at the bottom, got 2 pieces of 1/4-inch plate. Drill the hole, bolt it through, washer and a nut. On the top, same thing. Nice piece of 1/4-inch plate to spread out the weight of the force as you push. Simple, easy, effective. In the future, I'm considering it. I might do is drill a couple more holes here and over there, maybe like both piece of either angle or tubing and stick it out a little ways. Then take a cutting edge and go from one side to the other to kind of give myself a nice cutting edge to you know, to sit down and back drag with. And it also adds some rigidity to the tire, but we'll see what this does. So let's go out and have a little fun pushing some snow. Quick update on the tractor tire pusher, snow pusher. I tried it out and it wasn't quite stiff enough in the front end. The corners here on each side kind of kept folding down and they weren't working so good, so I didn't I didn't finish my video, but today we're gonna finish it. We just got a little bit of snow and I put this 2x4 here one side to the other, and I tried it out a little bit, seemed to work pretty good, so we're gonna give it a little bit of a test run again. And all I did was I put the 2x4 under there and just put some screws, some wood screws, little washers on there through the rubber, through the wood. And it's pretty decent. About, I don't know what, 6, 8 screws each side maybe. And then I had a little problem with my quick attach being a little loose. I got to do some adjustment on that and the fine tuning later, but for now I just put this on there to kind of help hold it tight, so that it kept falling off because that pin wasn't it was down far enough, but it was so loose, too much flex. So we'll fix that in a later video. But anyways, let's go out and push some snow. Well guys, there you have it. As a snow pusher, I think it did extremely well. I really like it. We got some problems with the quick attach here. As you can see, I've strapped it up. It's too loose, so we got to do a little finagling, and I think it worked pretty slick. It didn't do too good on the icy parts. Obviously, it's too slick to be pushing a whole lot, but I bet you if a guy had some hard pavement underneath of it, it would work a little bit better. But well, there you have it. That's the tractor tire snow pusher Mark 1, I guess. Here's a quick update on my snow pusher that I built out of a tractor tire. I had issues with the quick attach not wanting to set in tight and it not wanting to stay on the machine. You know, it was falling off when I was moving snow. Here is my little, hopefully, fix for it. I took that piece of 1/4-inch angle iron and I heated it up on the top and bent it, which brought the bottom part way up tight against the bottom of the quick attach there. And what I did is I put some bolts through it, and I'll show you the other side. Just a couple of 1/4-inch plates, some rubber bushings of a sort just for spacers. Those bolts are a little on the long side. I might change them out at a later date. We'll see. I got the nut started and the washer on there, sucked it in tight, picked it right up. It's a little bit of a tight fit. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but seems to be working okay in here. I think it's time to go out and do a test run. So let's go move some snow. Alright guys, that was an okay test run. It seemed to work pretty good. I have some issues here with the corners there and on that side there. They want to dig in, and so it doesn't keep the tire flat enough to where you can scrape it down good. You know, it leaves a little bit down there. So I'm thinking I might do a little bit more modification. I was thinking maybe I'll take me one of my steel cutting edges I got left over and find a way to attach it there and there, spanning the bottom so that I have two pieces, one on top, one on bottom, and a nice hard cutting edge on the bottom. Maybe I can scrape it with that, and then as it scrapes, it goes over the cutting edge and into the tire. So let's see what we can come up with. Alright everybody, here's the fix, I think. My rough plan. I've got a piece of cutting edge that is 75.5 inches wide, which is just a hairpin wider than the tire. What I'm going to do is I took these pieces of 1/4 inch plate and I'm going to weld them to that cutting edge on the bottom there, both sides, and it's going to be a vertical piece here coming on the outside of the tire, And those marks there are at an arbitrary number. I figured 5 inches and 10 inches up. And what I'm going to do, I'll drill them holes out, probably 1/2-inch bolts maybe, stick them through the tire, put a plate on the other side, and then voila. You got a bracket on this side, a bracket on that side, and in theory, as a guy goes over the snow, that cutting edge should keep the corners stiff and give you a nice hard cutting edge. You might be able to scratch down on the gravel, or if a guy were to do it on concrete or asphalt, of course. But I don't have that. I have some really rough ground that's icy, and then I don't really need that. I just need the reinforcement more than anything else. But let's get to drilling some holes. There you go. Alright guys, here's my update on my little redneck fix for the tire pusher here. I got the blade here attached, just an old cutting edge, and what I did was I took a piece of 1/4-inch metal I had, plate, welded it to that cutting bar, 2 pieces of plate, some bolts going through, washers, sucked her in good and tight. This side over here, same thing. My bolt here that I have on the bottom wasn't, the one I had was not long enough, and the one I have is way too long. So I'll have to swap that out at a different date, but I want to get it going and get it tested, move a little snow, so this is what she looks like. Let's go see what happens, if it's any better. Welcome back everyone. Here's the last little update for the snow pusher made out of a tractor tire that I'm doing. I had some issues with it not quite working so good. The snow when I plowed would come up over my cutting edge, over the top, back on the ground, and then it would slide up underneath the tire, and it wouldn't hold it quite as well as I liked. So I'm going to take this mud flap and screw it on the top there, stick it underneath that cutting edge, so when the snow comes up, it'll hit on top of that mud flap and hopefully stay up in there a little better. There's some holes yet, but it's nothing big. I'm not too worried about crumbs really. I just want the majority of it. So let's fire it up the skid loader and take it for a test run.